Hello everybody, welcome back to my G-Views. I'm a 20-year-old cisgendered white girl who loves talking about movies and TV shows, and today I'm continuing with my Avatar: The Last Airbender universe video with The Legend of Korra, which is a TV show set, I think, like 70 something years in the future from the last movie. And there's a new Avatar because Avatar Aang has sadly passed away. Being trapped in the ice for 100 years really does something to you. And she has to kind of find her place, find her spirituality, and she is helped by the descendants of our former characters. Most of them are still alive, but some of them, like Sokka and Aang, are not here anymore. You get like Katara and Katara's children with Aang. You got Zuko, really old Zuko, and his children and his grandchildren, and you also get like Toph and her children as well. A lot of people compare the two shows together, and I mean that's rightly so because they're in the same universe, but I think Legend of Korra delves into the character of the Avatar a lot better than The Last Airbender. Korra herself is a fantastic character. She starts off, I think, around 17 years old, and she's very sure of herself. She's very powerful, physically powerful, and she just has to master airbending, and she goes through some shit. Like, Aang, of course, went through a lot with the deaths of the airbenders, but Korra physically goes through a lot. Like, she is pummeled by villain after villain. She's punched down. She is mortally wounded. Like, she loses the ability to contact her former avatars, which is like, whoa, like she goes through so much. In season 4, her character is, because it jumps 3 years into the future when she's around 21, and she goes through PTSD from what happens because she has this poison in her, and her as a character is incredible. I love Korra. She's my favorite character from the show, from The Legend of Korra, and you really get to see her personality, and you get to see that she's strong and then weak, and she can build herself back up, and that is, she's a great female representation of power and the strengths of the mind. I love her, love Korra. The other characters I don't love as much as The Last Airbender, like Iroh and Zuko from The Last Airbender, and Toph are my 3 favourites. Toph is in the show, Iroh is also, and Zuko. They're all in the show, but like they're not in the show that much. And it focuses on 4 main characters, or I guess 5. Korra is the Avatar. Tenzin is the Airbender, who is Aang and Katara's son, and he has a family of his own with his wife and their 4 kids. 3 of them you see a lot of, and they're really funny, and I really like that family. And then you got Mako, Bolin, and Asami are the others. They are good, but like not great. Like, they're kind of boring, and I don't know, I miss the dynamics of like Sokka and Katara and Toph, and I don't think these 3 really did it for me. I guess maybe the writing isn't as strong, and that is one of the negatives. The show looks beautiful. I think it's more beautiful than Last Airbender, the way the colours move, and I think they use more 3D elements, but it looks incredible. Having the villains change every season is a negative for me, because they change the villains every season, so I have to read this on my phone because I cannot remember the villains' names, which is a negative. So in the first season it's Aemon, who it... Ghost, stop it! Aemon is the person who takes away airbending, and he's like all for non-benders, and he's like non-bender rights, which I'm like, yeah, that's such an interesting concept, and I feel like they could have spread that out over a few seasons. But he's probably one of the best ones. But then he turns out he's a waterbender. So he is like lying, which is really interesting, but I think they could have fleshed out. Then the second season, Unalaq, who was not very good. He was like wanting to be the dark avatar, and I was like, why? Season 3 was Zahir. Zahir and his like minions. And again, I think Zahir could have been fleshed out more, but he was quite interesting because he comes up in season 4 and he's very spiritual and he actually helps Korra. And I think they just needed to flesh out their villains, because in season 4 it's Kavira, who, again, a very interesting villain who I feel like could have been fleshed out more, who was like, yeah, the Earth Kingdom, like, their rulers, the kings and queens, are corrupt and I want to be the ones to unite. And that is really interesting. Again, makes so many connections to what's going on in society with imperial powers and wanting to be democratic, but democracy doesn't always work. And I think the show could have spent more time delving into the villains and having more of a cohesive arc so that we could see our characters develop more. Also, I want to talk about the representation of LGBT plus. A lot of people have been talking about Asami and Korra. So Korra and Asami and Mako are in like a love triangle for the first few seasons. Like Asami and Mako are together, but Korra likes Mako and Mako likes Korra, and then they cheat on each other, and it's like whatever. And then at the end of Korra, Asami and Korra are like closer, and they're like, why don't we go off together? And the end shot is them holding hands and going to the spirit world. And a lot of people have been talking about representation, how positive this is, and it's like the first like LGBT couple in a kids TV show or something like that. And I was like, yes, like I was expecting a lot. I was like hyped going into the show because I was like, yes, we're gonna get like a lesbian couple, a queer couple, and I know I expected more. I thought there was gonna be a kiss, because the level of kissing in Avatar is a lot. And I wanted them to kiss at the end, and I feel like the show could have done that. But again, Korra and Asami do have a great connection, and I just wish there was more of it, like we could see more scenes. If I had to rate Korra, I think I'd give it a 8. I didn't find it as like binge watchy as Avatar. I wasn't like dying to know what the next season or the next episode was. Season 2 was probably the worst for me for Korra. The villain just wasn't that great, and I was a bit disconnected from the characters. I didn't really get a lot out of them. And there wasn't like a huge redemption arc like with Zuko. We were like really rooting for him to be good. But Korra herself is such an important character that you need to like, and she is incredible. So I hope you liked my G-view of The Legend of Korra. I watched it on Amazon Prime and it's really good. Get your mum's Amazon Prime, your dad's, or whatever, and watch it. 4 seasons, like 13 episodes. Like, I do highly recommend the show. I just prefer ghosts. But it definitely delves into spirituality and what it means to come back from depression and PTSD, and that is something very mature for a kids TV show. So I do recommend the show. I hope you liked this video. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any TV shows or films you want me to watch. I'll be reviewing The Last Airbender, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. I really enjoy just talking about movies, and I love talking to you guys about it, especially during quarantine. I hope you guys are keeping safe. I know it's really hot at the moment, but don't go to the beach, because that's not good. Hope you guys are staying safe, and I will see you soon.